guys. It is Tiny Little Whispers ASMR, and welcome to today's Mindful Monday video. Also, if you just heard that very loud sigh, Desmond is right down here. I truly tried to film this video with him in the shot, sitting on the couch, but used to kind of doing our own thing on the weekends. And then when we reach Monday, if we have a typical work or school schedule, our body can be in shock with having to go back to that. I know most of you, if you are in school, are out for the summer, so hopefully that is going well for you. But on the other hand, there are a lot of you who might have had an overwhelming start to the week. I have personally found that planning and using a planner and having a to-do list helps me feel a bit more in control of what could otherwise turn into a very chaotic Monday. I know that some of you may just be feeling very, very overwhelmed already. So what we're going to work on today has helped me personally when I have very overwhelming feelings and I'm feeling a bit detached. So lately I've been struggling a bit more just with my overall general sense of mental health, and this has been a practice that has truly helped me. So every so often I can get very overwhelmed, whether that is with too much stuff to do, so there's too much on my plate, or I can get overwhelmed and not really be able to feel comfortable in what I would call a new situation. So that might be going into a new store or moving into a new home, something along those lines. And sometimes I feel as though my brain is not inside my body and I'm watching it from behind me. So I'm watching myself do all of the movements and everything, but I physically am not feeling present. Now, like I said, this usually happens when I'm feeling overwhelmed or I'm dealing with something new where my brain has not computed everything around we switched around some furniture and moved our guest bedroom that was in our basement. We moved it upstairs at our house, and that has thrown me off drastically. While I love the space, I would walk into the room and feel like I didn't know where things were, even though I did. It just felt so foreign to me. So I practiced this, and it has helped me learn the room better. So for mindful seeing, what we need to do is try to focus on objects, but not physically think about what the object is, but instead note textures, feelings, how something might feel if you can touch it, little inconsistencies, that's a hard word for me to say for some reason, little inconsistencies, also, where things are mirrored, all of those small things that we don't always notice when just looking through a space. So, for example, let's take my wedding ring. We can look at an object, and I'm sorry, there's a hair, there we go. We can look at this object, and we don't want to think, wow, that's a wedding ring. We don't want to hyper focus on what the object is, or focus on it too long. But instead, I can look at the textures, and I can see that on the side there are some small divots in the gold. And I can also notice that on the inside of the band is a tiny, tiny inscription, and I can't even read what it says. And I can also see that there is some dirt under the diamond, and it needs to be cleaned. But the gold looks and feels smooth, except for those bumps around the diamonds. stop.